Speaker, and at the very onset, let me take this opportunity to congratulate my colleague and friend, Senator Kathy Muma, for bringing such an important bill which goes into improving the welfare and the health of our nation. And why do I say that? Because we know the harmful effects of nicotine can only lead one to an early grave. Honorable Speaker, the bill that has been proposed to this House is one day too late. It should have been done before, because Kenya has been made a playing field by what Senator Kathy has called merchants of killing our population. Indeed, it is so unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that this bill comes at a time now when it is supposed to respond to the concerns surrounding regulation of sale of nicotine to minors and also to control what is happening in the public space and restrict the use of nicotine, e-cigarettes, and all products that are in this range. It is also very unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that even as our nation we speak about impunity, and people tend to define impunity as something that is being done in the political arena. It is unfortunate that even the businesses that are being traded here within the Republic of Kenya have displayed and have shown and demonstrated a lot of impunity. Because, Honorable Speaker, if a tobacco product has already been banned elsewhere, how do they find access to our nation? I think one of the aspects that need to be regulated and institutions that need to be called into account are institutions like KEBS. Because if a product, and we have had this challenge, not only in this area, we've also had this challenge of products like pesticides, which are banned in other countries, finding themselves being sold in Kenya on open shelves, on open counters, Honorable Speaker, without anybody even standing to say no to the sale of anything that is harmful to the public health of our nation and also harmful to our children. Honorable Speaker, that's why this bill is very timely, one day too late. And because I'm sure many people know what my stand is on matters alcohol, matters tobacco. In fact, I proposed to Senator Kathy, before we came back this afternoon, this bill should not have read the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill. I would have actually been very comfortable to second you on a bill which is titled the Tobacco Ban Amendment Bill, whatever that would stand for, or the Tobacco Ban Bill 2024. Because I actually don't know the reason why people smoke. I have been next to people who are smoking, Honorable Speaker, and especially the chain smokers. Don't ask me where I was, because I live in a normal community where I have friends, relatives, colleagues who definitely sometimes are smoking, Honorable Speaker. And sometimes as they smoke, I listen to how they are coughing, and you can tell their lungs are almost out because of the harmful effects to the health of the smoker, and the more harmful effect to the people who consume the smoke that comes from what is being smoked. And now we have the e-cigars, new emerging products in the market, being sold online, undeterred and controlled, being purchased by anybody from 10 years old, 12 years old. How shameful can this ever get, Honorable Speaker? And I'm happy that this tobacco control bill is going to ensure that, first of all, you cannot sell these products online, especially the ones that have nicotine. Nicotine has cancer-causing elements such as ammonia, chromium, formaldehyde, nickel, pH adjusters, and nicotine salts. They are all cancer-causing elements that should not even be consumed by a person who truly understands what is contained in that cigarette. So, as I stand to second this motion, my plea would be to all the smokers, consider how you can withdraw from the smoking, first of all, because it's very harmful to your lungs, it's harmful to your health, and it reduces your life expectancy. So one, I would say, it is not worth smoking. Two, it is criminal for any trader to purport to sell those products to underage children, unprotected. Can you imagine, Honorable Speaker, as you are seated today in this Senate, your 14-year-old or 15-year-old could be ordering a nicotine product online in your absence without anybody controlling them. And you know, our children sometimes are in boarding schools, they will go out. Can you imagine the delivery that was done to Senator Kathy's young worker at, I think you said that wherever it was that it was being delivered, it was being delivered at KICC. Nobody monitors, the parent is not there. But the person who is so keen to sell that product happily takes the order to that young person. Where the young person consumes that product, you cannot tell. And Honorable Speaker, what is being sold online to underage is shocking in this republic. One time, Honorable Speaker, when we were in Canada, we saw shops across streets when we were in the course of some conferences we were attending. We saw shops, and many of them where they are selling even cannabis sativa, Honorable Speaker. They are selling marijuana. They are selling anything, and there is a freedom for them to purchase that. Is that the direction we would want our nation to go? Of course not. So we need to have control on what is being sold, an informed and very intelligent way of determining how harmful the products are, so that if it's not accepted in another jurisdiction, definitely it shouldn't land in the Republic of Kenya. And we truly want to call upon the KEBS to ensure that they control the products that are coming from out. And I'm happy to note that on 31st May this year, the CS for Health, Honorable Duale, suspended existing nicotine products import and distribution licenses. He suspended those licenses. I wish they could stay suspended. And they were asked to reapply again for assessment as to whether they should be allowed to sell those products here. So the regulations I've seen, the controls that have been proposed in this bill are quite good, because even the premises now will be licensed and will be subject to inspections. The county government, you have powers to ensure that licensing is being done. There will be a full disclosure of the person who is manufacturing the product. The importer of the product also will be disclosed and open. There will be warning notices on the health risks that are attendant to the use of those products, so that if somebody is consuming or is smoking those products, Honorable Speaker, they can tell whether cancer is knocking or cancer is a few months away from giving them a visitation. Honorable Speaker, I have also seen now a clear definition of areas within this bill where smoking will not be allowed. And I'm happy to note in section, let me get this, section 15 of this bill, under section 15 of this bill, there are many places where without prejudice to the generality of the subsection 1 of section 15, smoking is permanently prohibited in the following areas: institutions of basic education and training, places of worship, hospitals, clinics, and other health institutions, children's homes, childcare facilities, children's playgrounds, residential houses, and such other premises where children are cared for, public service vehicles, passenger vehicles, school buses and vans, commercial passenger aircraft, commuter boats, ferries, and police cells. And smoking is prohibited in the following areas except in designated smoking areas. And it details out all the areas where you cannot just go to a restaurant and smoke. So I hope unless those designations are done, a person will not be allowed to smoke in offices and workplaces, court buildings, factories, cinema halls and theaters, police stations, prisons, aircrafts, education facilities, railway stations, markets and shopping malls, retail, stadia, sports and recreation facilities, and public building. And Honorable Speaker, as those areas are being detailed out, let me also point out, it's actually very wrong and very bad manners for anybody, even a guest visiting you, coming to ask for a place where they can proceed to smoke. Because if the rest of the people in that home are not smoking and there are children within the residential areas, then don't push your hosts by asking whether you could smoke inside their house, because some may not be able to tell the smoker that we don't like that, because they will respect you as a guest. But it is wrong to smoke in somebody's home. Honorable Speaker, I would also wish to raise the issue of how other products are being packaged. Other products that have been smoked before are now being packaged in sweets, in cookies, like marijuana, bang. They are being, they are packaged in a different way, such that even the children are so exposed that your child will be given a chewing gum, or will be given just something that doesn't look like a drug. And what is packaged in that sweet or ball gum or whatever it is actually a very harmful product. And I would want to say to the children, because I can see we have some from a school today in Senate, don't eat any chewing gum or anything that you receive in a party. Just eat from your parents and people that you're very familiar with. Because suddenly the packaging is no longer the traditional conservative packaging that is given for purposes of, just having a candy. The candy has turned into something else. It could be anything packaged in that, including drugs that could take you out. So don't be eager to eat anything from people you do not understand. Honorable Speaker, I would hope that all the senators in the House today, and even those who will hear us from online or from the recording of the submissions today, will support this bill, and unanimously we will send a statement to the merchants of death who are trading with wrong products on our young generation, that time has come for all of us to turn around and to say no to these nicotine products, to accept the control and the regulation, and to ask the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Public Health, the Ministry of Trade to be very, very, very firm on the products that are being brought to this country. It is very wrong, Honorable Speaker, for us to allow products that have heavy metals, metals that are causing damage, health damage to cancer, to kidneys, to lungs, metals that are causing health damage to organs of the body. In fact, we saw one of the notices we saw in Canada on one of the products that was being sold was a notice that there was the risk of lungs being frozen after consuming that product for about only 3 months, Honorable Speaker. And if a product is that bad, why then should anybody be eager to buy or consume such products? So, Honorable Speaker, I submit that e-cigarettes must be controlled. They must, and even other forms of vape pens, bars, e-hookahs, mods, tanks, and any other product by whichever name is brought to our market. We must be strong enough to say what we need and what we don't need, what is beneficial to us, what is not beneficial to our system. And Honorable Speaker, to finally note that anybody who is consuming some of these combustible tobacco products, including the vaping, will have a worsened situation if they have bronchitis and asthma. It raises blood pressure, it suppresses the immune system, and it increases the risk of developing a chronic lung disease. And some of these ailments, Honorable Speaker, recovering from such ailments becomes a very tall order. The research in the medical field has not given cure for some of those ailments, and it is not good to gamble. And finally, these products are very highly addictive. Once you get hooked or somebody gets hooked to these products and very early exposure, it will affect everything. If it's a student, the learning stops, the attention becomes very difficult, the memory is affected, and you also have social problems if you're a young person. So the best thing is to ban. That's why I was proposing to Senator Kathy, that she should have brought in the tobacco ban bill, but since it has come couched as the tobacco control amendment bill, I hope the control then would ease off and reduce the risk, but on a bare minimum, we must accept that these products must be controlled. And let me also mention, there is a town in this country, Kijabi, where I'm told they don't smoke and they don't drink. Up to now, Honorable Speaker, and I'm not very young, I am yet to hear anybody who has died because they did not smoke or they did not drink. Kijabe is doing so well, and I want to appreciate the residents of Kijabe for keeping their town very free. In fact, the government should incentivize Kijabe. All the roads should look very good. They should be a model town for a place where people have survived without smoking, without a single bar, and everything has gone on very well. And if a research was to be done, you might actually find, Honorable Speaker, that without the alcohol addiction, without addiction to smoking, without addiction to drugs, they will have fewer accidents, happier families, they will be more healthy, and it will be an attractive place to look at for socio-economic and political development in such an area. With those very many remarks, I beg to second this bill. Thank you.
Now, Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the Tobacco Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 35 of 2024, be now read a second time. Honorable members, this